Hello, everybody. Welcome. Part 1 of 3 live streams tonight on the channel. Nick Ball versus Ronny Rios Undercard being part 1. We've got the main event being part 2. And, of course, UFC 307 later. Who better to join me? The King of Combat's here. Mr. JFT, Jay's Fight Talk. How's things, my friend?
All good, brother. You?
Yeah, man. Good. Looking forward to a good night of fights, mate. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sort of marquee massive fight. I know we've got a decent fight later on in the sort of UFC main event, but I think the fact that there's good fights scattered around makes it a decent night.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Sense, like we've had massive fights, haven't we, over the past few weeks where
Yes.
there's been one
and next week
fight and some half decent fights on undercards. This has got 3 or 4 really well. If you include the MMA, we've got 6 or 7 really good fights tonight.
Definitely.
Sort of spread out across the night. So, yeah, it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be fun.
Absolutely, mate. We live for it. We live for it. Obviously, next week, huge week coming up as well. So they just keep rolling on.
Massive. I mean, this week's not comparable with next week. It's light years ahead. It's probably, for me, one of the strongest cards of the year. Whether it lives up to that is we never know, do we? There's if we're honest, Dubois and AJ, the mass perception of that fight was it was a walkover for AJ. So there was excitement as though that AJ fills stadiums regardless. But what I'm saying is it turned into a mental spectacle that we could never have imagined. Even
the main event saved it as well. It was quite lackluster undercard, wasn't it?
It topped it off. You don't get many events that build up like that, and it sort of built up to this crescendo. There were points in that night that we were complaining about how slow it was. Not slow as such, but points, decisions, and lackluster performances. And it sort of got better as it got close to the main event. Look at Hamza Shearer in the co-main. It blasted Tyler Denny out of there, and then we got what we got in the main event. So this should be a good fight. This
man.
Turner's a bit of a puncher. They've brought in an international opponent for him that is 5-6-1 Argentinian, Gonzalo Corinaldez. Sorry, I haven't heard his name pronounced. We can't have the volume on.
Yeah, that's it. I think this should be a knockover, but I guess we'll see. We'll see, haven't we? But the chief support should be fun. The next one, British and Commonwealth.
Looking forward to that fight. I spoke to Liam about it. Our No Punches Pulled co-host Liam, who can't be with us this evening, but big up Liam if you're.
Big up Liam Tully. Hopefully, be with us for the UFC later.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, we've got Jack Turner. He's 8 years younger. He's trained by Joe McNally, who's getting or has a very, very strong stable, and is slowly but surely becoming one of Britain's go-to trainers with his with the team that he's building up there in Liverpool. He's speaks highly of this kid, I'll say, and I don't mean that in a patronising manner, but he's I've got kids the same age, so yeah, he's a kid, but he hits really hard, but boxes pretty good as well. He seems to have a bit of everything. I'd be interested to see what he's like under a proper test, but obviously he's a novice, so I'm not saying throw him in, but throw him in with killers at this point. But he'll be ready by all accounts. He'll go pretty far, so it won't be long before we see him in decent domestic dust-ups.
Yeah, definitely.
Straight to the centre. Here we go. Decent crowd in there tonight as well.
There is, yeah. There's some big names in the crowd. Fury's there. Liam Smith, I saw. Anto Kakachi and Kevin Ajarko are there. There's some good little crowd in the M&S Bank. I always want to call it the Echo.
Always be the Echoes. Dennis McCann there, the loser himself, as Bivol's wife likes to call him.
The loser. Yeah, very good.
Loser. But yeah, Turner just being caught with a right hand there. I think he's just warming into it. We are only sort of just coming up to a minute of the first.
Sorry, mate, just 10 seconds.
George Warren seems to have gone heavy on the concealer and guy liner this evening.
Big George loves it, doesn't he?
Doesn't he just? Yeah, he's had a...
Andrew Kane looked good earlier. I actually thought he'd be in this slot, to be honest with you. But
I assumed we'd be tuning in to watch him later on.
I did myself.
But surprisingly early.
Yeah, he's good, Andrew Kane. I think he's going to go. He's 28 though, so he's not like a spring chicken. You know, he's young enough to make a claim. But
they're going to have to move him fairly soon, aren't they?
Yeah, he's got to go up the levels quick time. He just beat Flash Ash Lane for the British title before.
That's a good win. That's a good win.
That's a very good win.
Oh, you're like, excuse me, sniffling. I'm suffering with man flu this week.
Illness going around everywhere at the minute.
It wiped my house out earlier on in the week and work. So, yeah, I've just got the tail end of it. But the boxing and mixed martial arts will get me through, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Other flu medications are available. That's not a free advert for Lemsip. They're not paying me. Yeah, as you said, Sam, Turner's target practice on the Argentinian opponent at this point. It's not really a scrap as such. He does look a bit fleshy, Turner, though, don't you think? He looks like he could shift a few pounds, maybe.
Think so, mate.
Is it because he's not developed yet? But he's 22. Just might not be defined. You know, Tony Bellew's body was like that.
That's right. Yeah, Bellew was pretty fleshy, but yeah, even when he was killing himself to make 175.
Yeah, Turner's just knocked him absolute cold while we were talking about how fat
Oh dear.
No disrespect, Mr. Turner. Don't be sticking one of them on me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, if I'm honest. Just going off his record.
I knew it would be a knockover, but
yeah, but not like that. I mean, he's still asleep. He's a kip still. He's been out about 30 seconds. That's yeah, some shot that.
It's a bad one.
Interested to see the replay.
Hope the kid's all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get that British title, and it's British and Commonwealth, actually, isn't it? The next one. We'll get that sooner than thought. We might get a good time main event.
Yeah, but have TNT subscribed to the early one, or will they do a load of filler with Woodsy and Crawler talking nonsense?
Woodsy, Crawler and Bunty, isn't it, tonight? So they could fill. They're not going to go any earlier than 10:15, I would say.
You reckon?
Couldn't see it, mate, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, Bunty, you've got a couple of anecdotes about boxers from 80s, and then he struggles after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're gonna
he
get,
does. God
bless Bunty, but we've heard it all already, Steve. And, you know, I think there's him, Crawler and Woodsy, ain't they, up there tonight?
Oh, dear.
But, yeah, that was, I mean, what we got a minute and a couple of minutes worth of tape on Mr. Turner. The problem for his opponents is there's not much to go off.
Yeah, they're not going to be
most of them out of there.
Not going to be in a rush, are they? I would suggest.
No, and he's 22 as well, so he's got a good 10 years left, hasn't he? At least. By the shape of him, he's going to go up through a couple of divisions in. He's got room to manoeuvre, I think. Because he could be a big lad, him, eventually. He's
thick set, definitely.
Yeah. Short, though. I think he's only 5'5". Solid shot. I like his style. He got nice and low. Took a shot then, though. But you see that counter left hook?
Take one to give one and all that.
Yeah. I don't fancy that as his motto moving forward, because as he goes up through the levels, one of them could put you to sleep.
That's the problem.
But great counter left hook, that. I mean, or sort of in between a hook and an uppercut, wasn't it? It was a great shot. I'd be interested to see what he says on the mic. You know, what kind of level he believes he's at now, whether he's honest and, you know, just says, I'll let my management and my team deal with it, or whether
Uncle Frank, it's not his first rodeo, is it either?
No, but he might just say, bollocks, I want X, Y, and Z. You're a pussy. You dead. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd love to see that, though. I swear to God, I would.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah. Screaming. Oh, yeah, his opponent's up and about.
Good. That's what we want to see.
God bless him.
I hope he got paid decently for that, because...
Yeah, there's not...
It's a bad one.
He'll definitely get a 28-day suspension, won't
he? Yeah. He'll be listed on Box Rec as not able to compete in New York.
Yeah, he's not boxing next week, let's put it that way.
God's sake. So what do we think then, mate, for the next one?
I said that...
I think Turner might do it on points.
Yeah, well, I said stoppage, didn't I think? So I'm going to have to stick with... Is it Henry Turner, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Are they related, do you know?
I don't know.
And I'm not trying to be funny there. It was just the fact that
they both have the same surname.
That and they've put him on just before him, when really the Kane fight was a bigger fight than this in terms of.
I know. I thought that Kane's a British champion currently.
Even the not the Fury fight, the one before that was for like a WBA international, was it? You know, there's 3 or 4 fights. Realistically, I don't know if Frank might have wanted to get this kid on as far up the card as possible to get the eyes on him, like us watching him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's it.
We probably would not. No disrespect, we might not have tuned in earlier on in the card as a live. We were both watching anyway, but what I'm saying is we wouldn't necessarily have tuned in for his fight. You know, we would have just caught that as part of the broadcast. Mm-hmm. Whereas now, people have had it, not forced on them is probably the wrong word, but there will be people that are only just tuning in now for
Definitely.
the last 2 or 3 fights. You know, they're not all like us that'll sit and watch a card for 3 and 4 and 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Maybe interesting to see where Jack Turner goes now, but I can't see that Frank's too seasoned, mate. He knows the game too much. He's not gonna put him anywhere.
I was watching an interview with Frank Warren the other day. Do you know, it's unbelievable. He's 72.
It's insane, mate. He's so thirsty still for the game.
It's everything about him, you know, screams young promoter. I mean, what resurgence he's had over last.
Oh, he's in Indian summer. He's having a proper Indian summer.
Because the peaks and troughs that Frank Warren.
He's lived through it all. He's seen it all. He's lived through it all. He's been at the bottom. He's been at the top.
He's been shot, for fuck's sake, through boxing.
Yeah. He's had some issues, his old Frankie boy.
Allegedly by one of his... Allegedly. Fuck's sake. But yeah, he's it's good to see, because, you know, even myself, I were guilty myself of thinking it's a young man's game now. Frank's gone stale. He don't know... You know, because he didn't like MMA. He didn't like women's boxing. He didn't, you know, the Saudi were sports washing. He's now got women fighting in fucking Saudi.
I know, it's insane. It is insane, isn't it?
He's got his arm round Turkey at every opportunity now, hasn't he?
Too right. Yeah, he wasn't born yesterday.
No, Frank's, you know, he's like a Bob Arum, isn't he? He's been in the game for 40 years. Eddie might have been in it a while, but his dad was the Frank Warren of his, you know, he was Frank Warren's rival. And look what's happened. His dad sort of faded off in the background. Frank's still here as the leading. Probably
his longevity is incredible. Him and Bob Arum.
Frank and Queensberry are probably the number one promotion in terms of Britain at the moment for amount of cards and stable. He's
got the heavyweight division on lock. He's got Tyson Fury at the top with Usyk. He's got Daniel Dubois, who's probably number 3.
Toma.
Yeah, exactly. Right now,
Wardley.
He's got Toma and Wardley, who are probably kind of definitely Moses Toma's a future world champion. He's got Zhilei Zhang.
David Adelaide,
Joe Joyce. He's got so many heavyweights.
Yeah, and then he's got good fighters sprinkled.
Joseph Parker's a Queensbury fighter as well.
Frank slowly but surely got them all locked into decent deals, and he pays well. He must do, because they're all signing with him and staying with him.
He's back by Riyadh season, isn't he? Say no more.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
Frank was the one who got this Riyadh season thing going. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou was the start of Riyadh season. And now it's been Riyadh season events every other month.
Everything's Riyadh season now.
It's all Riyadh season.
I walked in my local supermarket earlier on and I thought, is it?
It's Riyadh season.
Riyadh season.
It is true, though. Like, I heard that Riyadh season was lasting 6 months, but it's just constantly Riyadh season.
Well, I'm confused, so you'll have to bear with me, mate, because they keep saying the start and the end of Riyadh season, but every fight we see is Riyadh season.
That's it.
Riyadh season. Do you get what I mean? Like, they're opening Riyadh season. But
so Beterbiev versus Bivol next week is the opening of Riyadh season.
But what was Joshua versus Dubois? That was Riyadh season.
They're just advertising Riyadh season apparently, but I know it is bizarre. But
Riyadh season nearly caused flipping perennial nerve damage last week with that hoarding on the canvas. They were all slipping on it, weren't they?
Yes, that's right, they were. But anyway, Riyadh season's getting us good fights. So
listen,
can't
Riyadh season. I'm a Riyadh season super fan. I'm a cheerleader, mate.
Oh yeah.
It's for whatever your moralistic stance is on Saudi Arabia and sports washing. As a boxing fan, unfortunately, that's my main concern is watching good fights. That's what I watch boxing for. I don't watch boxing to discuss politics or to discuss human rights. I'm not saying that those things aren't important and aren't, they're a separate issue for me. I can't mix the two. I like watching good fights, and if that is coming through Riyadh season, then it is what it is.
It is what it is
for me.
Man. It wouldn't have seen Fury Usyk without Riyadh season. Wouldn't have seen Beterbiev Bivol without Riyadh season. They're just two fights that you can rhyme off the top of your head. The reason I'm mentioning them is because they're undisputed fights.
Yeah. Currently watching an advert for the impending undisputed boxing game that's coming out.
That's right, yeah. Saw that.
I won't be buying it because it's got more than 2 buttons, and I'm of an age where I can't play any game that's got more than 2 buttons.
I don't even have a console anymore. I haven't had one for donkeys.
I've got an Xbox, and I can play a car game if it's brake and accelerate, and I might play FIFA every now and again. But I'm not a gamer. Let's put it that way. You won't see me on Twitch.
No,
playing Call of Duty.
Well, it depends what they're paying.
Oh, you'll see me on anything if they're paying, but at the moment you won't. But no, it actually looks pretty good graphics wise. I saw Usyk Tyson on YouTube the other night, and it looked very realistic. Yeah. Looked really realistic.
I saw some of the gameplay as well. Look poor, but I don't know if that was just one.
I tell you what, I got a shock on the last night. So I put YouTube on while I was getting washed and whatnot, and I put the round table with Rios and Ball.
Oh yeah.
Expecting Rios to have an interpreter or broken English, and he's like a California dude.
From California, yeah. He's California.
I just assumed that he'd have an interpreter or speak broken English.
Mm-hmm.
Serious though, from what he said. I mean, he's not going to say he's not serious, but
he's been in at a decent level. In fairness, he's been in with Ray Vargas. He's been in with Murodjon Medaliev, or MJ as he's better known. He's been in with some good operators.
I tell you what, if Nick Ball couldn't punch, he'd struggle because he don't say a lot, does he? It was a tough one.
He's not a talker. He's
not a shit talker. He's not a joker. He's just a
professional, mate.
I saw. I think it was Mr. Neutral asked him a question.
Yes, I saw that.
Booze, and it just dropped dead, didn't it? God bless him.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to eat or something? He asked him.
Yeah, and he said, "Nah, lad, don't drink."
Oh, sorry, yeah, that was it. Yeah, don't drink.
He asked him his favourite post-fight food, didn't he?
That was it. Yeah. Glass of wine to wash it down, he said, or something.
Nah.
Oh, anyway, right. Fighters for the chief supporter being announced by Mr. Thomas Schreiber, looking very dapper.
They're on the way out as we speak.
This should be a fun one.
Yeah. This can't.
China versus Rafferty, British and Commonwealth. Straps on the line.
I'm excited for this fight. I spoke to Liam about it during the week, and I've picked Turner, but I won't be surprised if Rafferty chins him early. You know, it's one of them matchups.
Mm-hmm. We need to see more of them.
I believe Turner is the favourite. You know,
I think he's a slight favourite.
Yeah,
it's
not overwhelming.
They're both undefeated, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much in it.
Steve Maylett there, who's trained world champion Terry Flanagan.
Big up Turbo Terry.
All right. Underrated, I think.
One of Frank Warren's best bits of work.
WBO world champion. Had a very good run. I remember watching him. Tell you the first fight I saw of him live, I saw him beat Nate Campbell. Do you remember Nate Campbell?
Yes, I do remember.
He beat Nate Campbell in Manchester. Who boxed that night? Were it Amir Khan? I think it were Amir Khan. Deontay Wilder boxed that night.
Wally Harrison?
Yeah, that was Sheffield Arena 2013. I ended up sat with Jolyon Lescott, Michael Carrick, and a Scottish one, Darren Fletcher.
I hope they got your autograph.
They did ask, but I didn't have time. I was there to watch fights. Do you know what I mean?
They didn't realise they're in the presence of greatness at that stage.
That was when I realised how hard Deontay Wilder punched. I swear you could feel it outside the ring. I know that sounds weird when you can like feel a sound. It was like the thud was. I've seen thousands of boxing fights, amateur and pro, and that was something I've never. Because it wasn't really that well known then. He was just this American Olympian that they were speaking highly of, but he wasn't. He had the knockouts, but he wasn't the Bronze Bomber yet. He was, but the mainstream didn't really know.
Bronze Bomber Junior.
Yeah, and when he battered Harrison, it was like they wound him up and let him go. He just was swinging. He was falling over himself, and but that was the night I sort of sat up and took notice of him.
Yeah, definitely. Turner having a little dig at Rafferty there when he come in. Like that. It's I can see the Showman is his nickname.
Oh, I'm not sure.
So maybe that's a bit of that within his nickname, the Showman. Keep an eye out for him.
So we've got Victor Loughlin, Mark Lyson, and Bob Williams. I think Bob Williams had a stinker the other week, didn't he? Didn't either one who give away one of the terrible? Didn't he?
Wembley.
The Boazzi and didn't
he score it to Hutchison? Did he?
I think so. One of them did anyway, and it was no disrespect, Willie, but you got well beat that night. You did, and I think you did. So Rafferty has 14 knockouts from 23 wins. Turbo's there, look.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's there in corner. It doesn't look like he's making lightweight soon, but...
Big up, Terry Flanagan.
Yeah, he's got Tom Stalker and Terry Flanagan in his corner, so... He's got
decent company there.
Some good experience there. I mean, Tom Stalker was Olympic captain, Team GB boxing captain, wasn't he? And boxed at a very high level as a professional. Yeah,
lost to Jack Cattrall.
Yeah.
When nobody really knew who Jack Cattrall was.
In fact, I've got a photograph of my lad, Charlie, with Jack Cattrall in the stands that night. He won something like a Northern Area or a Celtic. It's a weird belt. It's like a red. You know the area belts and the Celtic belts. The right.
Yes.
The funny shape like that. I'll have to dig it. I'll dig it out somewhere. But yeah, Cattrall boxed on that, but way down the card. I think just because there were a lot of Manchester fighters on that night. I think Crawler fought, Terry Flanagan, Who else boxed? Oh, I can't remember, but there was a few on that. It was some good fights, that card. It was an Amir Khan card when Amir Khan was still pretty good in 2013.
He was doing probably ITV cards and all that at that stage, wasn't he?
I can't remember. I think it was on Sky. I think it was a Frank Warren card.
I
think it was Julio Diaz or someone like that. It was a stinker. The Khan fight. It was a stinker.
He had a few, but he had a few absolute barnstormers as well.
Oh, yeah, so. He's a British boxing legend. He's
he is, yeah.
Modern day legend.
Without question.
You know, there's not many that have done what he's done in terms of amateur and pro. I remember tuning in to watch his last amateur fight against Mario Kindelin live on ITV as an amateur.
Yeah, I know. That was it. Yeah, you're right.
Saturday night.
Incredible when you think about it.
Yeah. People focus on his losses rather than what he actually did as a world champion. And he only ever lost to the best. It's not as though he ever got flatlined by bums. Other than Brady's Prescott, who you can, you can question what happened that night.
He just got caught cold against Prescott, didn't he?
He got set up. They set him up in terms of they knew he wasn't ready for that fight. Remember, it was a Cuban trainer first fight with wasn't it Robles?
I can't even remember at the time.
I'm pretty sure it's been proven that either him or one of the team had direct links to Brady's Prescott. So they wanted to.
Kevin Mitchell box rings round him after that, didn't he?
Yeah. Kevin Mitchell, man. What he could have been. If they hadn't let him take that Katsidis fight when they did, I think his career would have turned out completely different.
Yeah, Katsidis, you didn't play with Michael Katsidis, man.
Not then. Katsidis were the boy then. Kevin wasn't ready. And I think it took a lot out of him, that loss. I think it sort of
100%.
damaged him. This is started fairly even. I mean, they're both trying to establish centre ring, but neither of them's allowing them to. Turner's got a very wide stance. He's looking to counter that left with his right, obviously. Very cagey at the minute.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good fight here just to get the appetite wet towards the Nick Paul, Ronny Rios main event. That would be nice, wouldn't it, mate?
Yeah, could do with a nice little scrap in the last one.
A little war would be a little Joe Laws versus Steve McKenna would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh mate, I don't think my heart could take another one of them.
Yeah, a little Hagler Hearns, why not?
I watched that the other day. Funnily enough, Hagler.
Mate, if ever you want like inspiration to just make you fall back in love with boxing, if ever you're going stale with it for a few days, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that or Corrales Casamayor.
Oh, Corrales Castillo, round number 10.
Sorry, Castillo.
Jeez.
Yeah, that fight is unreal.
R.I.P. Diego Corrales.
Like, do you know what some of my favourites? Victor Ortiz, Andre Berto.
Yeah, Victor Ortiz was in a few. Him against Marcus Maidana as well was absolute chaos.
I prefer the Berto one because Emmanuel Stewart's.
Yeah, Emmanuel Stewart's like, my God. Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
That, though. Oh,
yeah, vicious that? Victor Ortiz, man.
Yeah, he just didn't have that, that dog. When it come to it, he'd find a way out.
Yeah,
Maidana made him quit.
Fun fighter though, man. Fun fighter.
Oh, absolutely.
Cagey, well, not cagey. It wasn't that cagey, to be honest, but it was close first round. It wasn't too much.
To be honest, I wouldn't know which way to give it. I'd have to toss a coin for that.
Yeah.
I hate to be a judge.
Apologies sometimes for whoever's joining us. We do randomly go on tangents, but I think people like it when we go on the little tangents, to be honest, because sometimes we get...
Listen, they're always filled with nuggets of history or... facts.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. Put it that way.
This is an education as well as a entertainment.
2 seconds, mate. Someone's.
You got a call. What is it? Voicemail. Don't know if Rafi's got a swelling under his right eye or whether it's Vaseline.
He looks really like someone.
You think?
But I just can't put my finger on it.
I'm trying to think who it looks like. I don't know.
Got a decent set of cornrows on him for all that.
And it's just, yeah. He's a bit Tyler Goodjohn-ish.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Or the other kid. Who's the other kid that... he's like a welterweight, and he's usually brought in as an opponent, but he's tough as old boots. He normally has cane row. Do you know what I'm on about? He's an opponent. He boxed... what's his flipping name?
I don't think.
I'll find him.
Tyler Goodjohn's a good shout, though.
Turner keeps catching him with sort of a slapping, cuffing right hand.
Yeah.
He's definitely targeting that side. If you look at Rafferty's ear, he's been clipped a couple of times. He's just keeping tight. He's sort of following him at the minute. Turner seems the more comfortable going backwards. He's slick, isn't he, Turner?
He is, yeah. I like him. Southpaw stance.
Got clipped there, though. Good fight, this, so far.
Yeah, it's what happens when you put two well-matched guys in there together.
You can see why they're both undefeated and being matched together, because it's a 50-50 at the minute.
Yeah, man.
As I said, Turner looks the more comfortable going backwards, but that's... At the minute, Raffet is offering him that, he's following him round. We'll see what he's like.
It's a bit bull and matador-esque, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, he's catching Rafferty 4 times. He's caught him with that cuffing right hand. So he's definitely planting a seed. Don't be surprised if it's the left hook that knocks him out while he's looking to defend that right hand side. I think Turner might be setting a couple of traps, because he's not putting any power behind it, but he's hitting him hard enough in a certain spot that he's going to have to start defending it soon. See, again, he caught him with it. And now he's starting to
shot there by Turner.
See, again, he's managing to get his left right through centre at middle at guard as well.
He is, yeah, I noticed that, actually.
Right, that takes some doing, that, See,
throws a very good straight left hand out of the southpaw stance, doesn't it?
Brilliant.
It's a breaky guard kind of left hand.
Yeah, I like his right hooks as well, though. A couple of really nice body shots there by Turner, but he's not made Rafferty take a backward step yet.
Yeah, it doesn't look an awful lot of pop in the shots, if I'm being honest, but
not really, no. But is he throwing them full bore? Is he just touching him up? I think he's setting a trap. I would not be surprised if it's a left hand that does, damage at some stage in this fight. I'm not calling a knockout, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually it's the left that does it, with him focusing heavily on the right. But that'll say that those left hands down the middle are money.
If I had to say, I'd have it 2-0 Turner, but
yeah. I mean, I know the first round was you could go 1-1, but
6-1 half a dozen of the other first round. But
the second round was definitely a turnaround.
Pop shot him nicely with that left hand, wasn't he?
Yeah, getting through some tiny gaps as well. Michael Conlon there in the crowd.
Mick Conlon will fight again.
He said he would, didn't he? Maybe a month ago.
Well, he's joined. Who did he join?
Gallagher.
No, he switched trainer. Grant Smith.
Good move. I mean, it's a good stable, that.
So he's with Sonny, Dalton. What's his face? Who's the other one?
Liam Cameron there.
I think Liam's there, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's the gym in Sheffield at the minute.
Yeah, well, I mean, who else is there? Ingalls, Manor, Dennis Hobson, Clinton Woods. Not many, is there really?
He must be in camp then if he's made the trip to Liverpool, because he lives in Ireland, in Belfast normally, I think. So he's obviously over in Sheffield and he's made the trip to Liverpool. Yeah. So maybe we'll see Mick back soon. I like Mick. He's an exciting fighter.
Yeah, I did expect more from him, but he's
just chinny. He's chinny. It's simple as that. Lee Wood took a part of his soul that night.
Yeah, I was just tiptoeing around it. I didn't want to go straight in there, so you did me a favour there. But
yeah, sorry, mate. Pushed you off the ledge.
No, you did me a favour. I didn't want to be disrespectful off the bat, but yeah, looks like that Lee Wood took his fucking soul.
That was one of my favourite fights in recent memory. Lee Wood against Conlan. It had everything.
Yeah. I mean, that finish was
brutal.
The way he slumped down and
fell out the ring.
And he was in front in that fight, wasn't he, at that point?
Yeah, man. He was, Ring Magazine Fight of the Year in 2022, that was.
Great fight.
Yeah. Well, Lee Wood's a free agent now. Hopefully we see some news soon. He's talking about Kakachi fight. That was a beautiful right hook by Turner there.
I got a like off him and a retweet a re-ex or what are you supposed to say now then?
Retweet, I think it is.
It's called a retweet.
Or repost, I think. Repost.
Oh, is it repost? Anyway,
he read me.
He read me, yeah. He re-exed me a post on X. I said I'd like to see Wood versus Kakachi made. 1 minute, my dogs are fighting.
No, you're right. Yeah, Wood Kakachi is the fight, man.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it. Bed. Go to bed.
Oh, good shot there. We got some Jay's Fight Talk commentary on the dog fight that's happening in the Murphy residence.
Sorry about
that. SW Fight Hub. You get dog fights, you get boxing fights. It's what the fans want, mate.
I'll get raided. I'm not holding dog fights. I've got dickhead dogs that start.
If there's content to be made, there's content to be made. Oh, yeah. Beautiful shot by Turner.
We could be watching a Malinois versus a Cocker Spaniel if you want, with a bit of Dachshund thrown in.
But instead, we're watching Turner Rafferty, and that's a good shot by Rafferty for me, mate. He's having a better round this third round.
There was
they're exchanging in the pocket as towards the end of the round. This one's heating up here. Jay's Fight Talk. I'm liking this action in the third round.
As we said, though, they're well matched, both unbeaten, Rafferty's got pretty much a 60% knockout ratio. I think it's 24 and 14 or something like that. 23 and 14. So hits hard. Turner hits pretty hard as well. So it seems to be hotting up now. Rafferty, I don't know if Rafferty were just seeing what Turner had for him, because he seems to have found something. I'm excited for the next round because they were swinging just before the end there.
It looks to me like
Turner looks like Hopi Price. That's who Turner looks like.
Yeah, he does. You're right. I think the power advantage looks to be with Rafferty.
Well, once he let go, yeah. I thought it was Turner at first.
I know. Well,
going that round and
don't get me wrong, it might not be, but he looks like he was sitting down a bit more, maybe even on his punches.
Looks the bigger bloke as well for me. If you look at
he does, yeah. He's rehydrated up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There we go. Dan Evans has joined us. Big up, Dan. Hope you're well, my friend. Turner 3 up for himself.
2-1
I think I've got it 2-1, mate, but I can see 3-0 Turner as well, to be honest. I thought Rafferty did a little bit better in that third round, but I was focused on Jay's dogs fighting, to be fair, for quite a bit of it.
We had it all going off here, mate. We had it all going off.
And thank you very much, Dan Evans. I appreciate that, mate. Very kind of you.
Welcome to the 40 Club, Sam.
Oh, no. No, I'm not 30 anymore. I'm 31 now, so I can't think about 40 just yet, mate. If it helps, I feel 40.
Mate, I'm
staying up till 5 o'clock every Sunday morning doesn't help, but the things you do.
No, this is what we got to do. The sacrifices we make.
That's it. Hope you're well, Dan. Anyway, and having a good Saturday night and good weekend, mate. Thanks for tuning in as always, my friend.
Is that Dele Alli in front row?
I bumped into Dele Alli once.
Did you?
It is, just in the middle of Manchester, yeah.
I'd love him to get his career back on track.
Yeah, I would as well. That interview he did with, I know we're a boxing channel.
I got a bit up on that, watching it myself.
Oh, it was incredible. Oh, good left hand there by Turner.
Yeah, just as referee splits them up. Nice. Hotting up nice, this now.
This is a good fight. Yeah, this is a really good fight.
Is Rafferty cut over his left eye?
I can't.
Just above bridge of his nose there. I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, it looks like some. What's your clock on?
1:03.
Yeah, I'm in and around where you are. That's good. Spamming the right hook, isn't he?
Yeah.
Turner.
I told you earlier on, but I don't know whether it's a trap or whether he's trying to really land it, but it doesn't seem to be.
Like you said, I think Rafferty's come and tasted a bit of the Turner power now, and he's definitely trying to get more on the front foot.
I think Turner's got the edge on speed, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, definitely. I think he's boxing well in this round, Turner, to be honest with you. I think he's winning this round.
He does. He is.
He leaves his chin in the air, though, when he throws some of them shots.
A bit ragged for me. Like I don't know, it's taking a lot out of him to step, because it's a fast pace, really.
It is a good pace.
Not necessarily throwing a lot of punches, but he's been made to do a lot backwards and forwards, perpetual movement. That takes your cardio away.
Yeah.
And he's into fast twitch out of where these punches. It's Rafferty's cut. I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. There's some form of just on. Oh, good left hand there to finish the round. It was by Turner. Yeah, he is cut. Yeah,
it's there as well. It's in an awkward spot. Oh, did you see that female MMA?
Oh, that was shocking. That's
the worst.
See how quickly it healed.
Nah,
mate. Within a week, it was like
wow.
Like look normal.
To be fair, though, right? You say that'll be to do with metabolism, being an athlete. I'll tell you why. I've got a. I'm not saying that the female athlete's like a dog. I've got a Belgian Malinois, which are like a fucking super dog. Yeah, them like canine protection dogs. She ran into a fence and got a big 2-inch gash there above her eye. The very next day, it had healed. It had scabbed over, and the day after that, it had pretty much gone. It took less than 72 hours for a gash to seal itself. All I did is wipe it. I didn't put anything on it, and she's just got a scar there now. But every time she cuts herself, like on a foot, or if I've got a Cocker Spaniel, she ends up needing a flipping surgery, and it cost me about 500 quid. The Malinois, it just heals it. As soon as it stops bleeding, it's fine.
Just scar tissue, isn't it? Some people are.
But I'm saying, because these breeds have had like they've got fast twitch, they're strong, they're agile. Her metabolism's really quick, so she self-heals really fast, and I think that's why that athletes, because her body's a finely tuned machine, isn't it?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I've got it the same as Richie Woodall. Dan said Turner's a beautiful boxer. He's fun to watch, Dan. I agree with that. I'm going to be following him onwards from here for sure.
I'm interested to see if he can fight, though. I'd like to see him hold his feet a bit.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this is a good learning fight for him, even though, Rafferty's here to win. Obviously, I'm not ruling his chances out or anything like that, but, clearly Turner's more skillful, but it's just whether...
It's Turner's fight to lose. If he can keep this up, then he wins the fight, because he's faster and he's sharper. But I'd like to see him hold his feet and have a bit of a scrap, because he ain't going to get to be multiple world champion boxing like that, because you can't do that against some of them. They'll trap you, they'll cut corners off, they'll close angles down, and he'll get found out. So I'd like to see what he's like holding his feet and having a bit of a scrap.
I like his style though, Dan. I love something I love about a southpaw with just the range on that left hand. He's got straight down the pipe. It's nice to watch, man. Francis Warren loves him anyway.
Does he?
Well, I can just see him going mad in the front row every time. Even when he swings and misses by about 3 meters, Francis Warren's all over it.
Dev there, front row. Gutted.
Oh, no doubt Dev's all over it as well.
Did you see the face-off that he did with Nick Borland?
Don't think so.
But he's done another one where he's talking really quiet.
Oh, Dev loves it, doesn't
he? He's putting a moody voice on. I thought,
Dev lives for it. I actually like Dev, to be fair.
Listen, he's a straight-up stand-up guy. Yeah, I'm probably just jealous because I'd love to do his job.
Oh, yeah.
But he's just a bit much sometimes. He's a bit cringy sometimes, isn't he? But bless him, he does a good job.
Yeah, I think he plays his character now.
Yeah, I think he's leaning into it. I think he's trolling.
Oh, definitely. You see some of the tweets.
If he's not,
yeah, if he's not, I'm concerned.
I'm very concerned.
End of the 5th round coming up thick and fast here for us.
I think for me, Turner's not pulling away, but comfortably getting the better of these rounds now. I've given Rafferty a couple, maybe tops.
Yeah. Well, I've got it 4-1 to Turner through 5.
Yeah. Good fight though. It's not an ass.
That's fun. Yeah, Rafferty's playing his part. Definitely, he's not. Yeah, he's got a little nick, but he's in the fight, and it's entertaining anyway. Sometimes these fights before a main event, there's Paul Mullen, Wrexham AFC player.
I was just going to say, why are they showing random Scousers? And I didn't recognise Paul Mullen. I wouldn't know him from a hole in the wall.
There's a star-studded house at the M&S Bank Arena tonight. But no, what we're saying is sometimes before, let's be honest, this card really it's a showcase fight for Nick Ball. It's a homecoming for Ball. Realistically, the undercard is Frank putting on his younger fighters, or people he needs to get a run out, i.e. Andrew Kane. A lot of the times you're kind of just waiting for the main event to come by, and the fights don't tend to be great, and there's nothing worse than when you're waiting around for it. But fair play to these lads. This one's been all right so far, and we're nearly halfway through.
Right. We haven't had to film much, have we? It's flowed pretty well. I just think Raffet is just that little bit slower, and I think that's the deciding factor. Obviously, Turner's a crisp, beautiful boxer, but without that speed, I think it's a lot more even a fight. But Raffet is just that split second away from catching him, and I think that's the problem for him. But can Turner do this consistently for 12 rounds? It's fucking hard to box like that, on the back foot.
Especially when you haven't done it too many times. It's not like he's been 12 rounds, 10, 15 times like a lot of top level pros have.
But also, on the flip side of that, Raffet is having to work chasing him, trying to trap him.
Yeah, he's putting energy in, expending a lot of energy.
Both as tired as each other, so
Not too much going on in the 6th so far.
When Frank Warren said they'd sold out the allocation, I thought he were exaggerating, but it does look like they've sold out the allocation. I'll give Big Uncle Frank his due. It's
busy enough, isn't it? Considering the card, credit where it's due.
Well, look, this proves one thing for me: the fans will come out for Nick Ball. Because let's be real,
it's his card.
Rios isn't an opponent any of us would have picked for him. None of us.
No way.
It's a chosen opponent for this night. And the fact that there's 6,000-7,000 people there says that, imagine him against, I don't know, Wood or Vargas or somebody, another name, another world champion. You're gonna fill you'd fill this again and more. I'm not talking Anfield but he's got to build his way up to that.
Oh, yeah. I thought he got stung there, Turner, but he didn't. He just slipped, I think.
Ref's letting him work.
Yeah.
Just as he splits him up.
Six rounds in the can, in the chief support to Nick Ball versus Ronny Rios. I've got 5-1 here to Turner through 6.
I've not seen anything from Rafferty in any great shakes to give him a round other than I think I gave him the first. And that was a coin toss.
Yeah, I give him the 3rd.
Yeah, so my card's different to yours. I've got him 2. So I've got it 4-2 or 5-2. I don't know. I'm doing it in the head.
TW's tweeted out the Rafferty looks dead at the weight.
I'd have to take your word for that, brother.
Said he sparred him at Rotunda, and I was around 74, 75 kg, and he gave me a great spar.
Who's that? Troy?
Troy.
Where's he said that? Twitter?
Yeah. I've got it. Oh, well, don't like that. Richie's got a 10-10 6th round. I'm not a big advocate for 10-10s if I'm being honest.
I'm not feeling them at all.
I think it's a bit hipster, isn't it? It's a bit trendy to score 10-10s.
Yeah.
Left over the top by Rafferty.
I mean, yeah, Rafferty was tripping over his own feet there. I don't know if he's tired now.
Well, let's see who's. We're only halfway through the fight, essentially, so there's still plenty of time for Rafferty to come back into it. He's not a million miles behind on Richie Woodall's card.
No, true.
But Turner's in the driver's seat. There's no doubt about that. That jab's nice. That right, fast.
Yeah, it's his fight to lose if he can keep going like this, because he's getting out of the way. He's taking very few shots, and he's scoring consistently. And he's having to go through the gears. He's having to mind his P's and Q's, but he's in complete control.
That's it.
He's letting his right hand go now. And his left. Super comfortable there. Look at that. Just great punching. It looks, the only negative I could give at this point for Turner is he's doing some of his things in patterns, and as a half blind, armchair expert can spot it, then a top level fighter is going to spot it, but he dips out and goes a certain way. I've been watching him, and he's doing the same. He can read his patterns. Obviously, they'll change that kind of shit. They should mix it up, but if Rafferty takes a step back when he's pulling out and throws a right uppercut, he'll catch him straight away.
If he can read it, definitely. But it's whether he's got it in him, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I don't think he has. Or Turner surely would. His team would have told him to stop doing it, but they haven't.
Yeah.
He dips really low when he pulls out. See there again, he just did it then. Rafferty pivots and just throws it up near himself. He'd catch him, but it's easy for me to say that, innit? Sat watching it in my shorts on the 6-inch screen while he's living and breathing it.
100%. That's another round for Turner for me. Nick Ball getting his final preparation done. The wrecking Ball.
He's just everything about him is just.
You'd hate to fight him, wouldn't you?
No, I think I'd have easy night of it. got long range here, and I'd use my footwork. Yeah,
too fast.
Absolutely.
Too big, too strong.
That's it, man.
Carl Froch.
I'm up there. Don't say that. He fucking follows me in knobhead, he might you might end up getting me in a misfits ring. Please, God, no.
Dan's got it 7-0 to Turner. I've got it 6-1 down myself. Jay, what have you got it?
Landslide. I've given Turner 2 rounds so far. Rafferty 2 rounds so far.
So you've got it, how many are in? 7. You've got it 5-2. Okay, so 5-2, you, 6-1 me, 7-0 for Mr. Dan Evans.
Yeah.
He can't. He's following him in circles now, Dan. I completely agree with that, mate.
Yeah, but listen, if anybody involved in Riyadh season would like to sponsor JFT's 18-month fight camp, then all expenses paid out in Dubai or Saudi or
18 months. Who are you fighting? Usyk?
I need that, mate. I need 18 months. I've got to learn how to box, for God's sake, and get fit.
You'll be like a prime Ali, mate, after 18 months of Riyadh season funded training.
You, mate. If I'm doing it properly.
The JFT shuffle, oh, beautiful by Turner, that.
The JFT shuffle. I think there's medication can stop that.
Oh, dear.
All the Furies in attendance. I think we've got Walter Fury back in the audience now with a terrible suit on, but I wasn't feeling his performance, to be fair. I think
no,
I know he's only 2-0,
4-rounder, wasn't it?
I know he's 2-0, but yeah, I don't see out of any, other than him have been a Fury.
Well, once you get the surname, you're kind of thrown into it, aren't you? You've got is it Roman Fury as well, who's fighting on these shows.
Yep. I tell you what, I'm impressed with Turner's ability to box as he has done from round 1 through to round 8, and he's not once dropped the pace. He's not.
Yeah, he looks in control, doesn't he? Rafa, he's trying to do something, but
I know I said earlier on I'd like to see him plant his feet and have a scrap because I was worried he couldn't do this, but he's throwing that right back in my face. He's still
he's kind of looking like he can, isn't he? He's got 4 rounds to go after this one finishes. Soon enough.
Rafa has got to change something if he expects to get anything from this fight. Is he following him, expecting him to tire and he'll knock him out? Because
time's running out if that's the game plan. It's time to go to plan B if that's the game plan.
What would he, as far as we're concerned, he'd need 3 10-8s in the last 4 rounds to get a win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And the chances of that happening the way things are going.
Yeah. He's not going to outpoint him from here. He's chinning.
Watch there be 3 knockdowns now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good shot that on at the end. Good little flurry for Rafferty at the end of the round there. Probably his best flurry of the fight. Turner wasn't in trouble or anything like that, but it might just give him a bit of impetus. He had him on the ropes. Turner was firing back as well. Don't get me wrong, but he actually got within striking distance there, and he had a bit of a go. So we'll see if he can build on it.
Yeah, Turner might have been taking a bit of a breather. I don't know if there's a clock that they can see, or he got a shout from his corner, but he seemed to let that happen, if that makes any sense. It didn't look like it caught him by that much of a surprise.
Turbo Terry on the cut.
Why do they still feel the need to have an half-naked woman walk around with a board that tells you what round it is? Who the fuck? Does anybody go to see that? Because I've never once thought, oh, shit, hold on a sec. What round we on? Oh, I wouldn't know if they want a naked girl walking round with a... It's fucking mental.
I have no idea, mate.
Richie Woodall.
There's 3 people on watching with us. So JFT wants you to have your say.
Let me know what you think.
Richie's giving that one to Rafferty.
I think he's got.
He had a better round. Yeah, but that doesn't always mean, Richie, that because you have a better round in the last one that you won it.
Yeah, I mean, as good a fighter as Richie Woodall was, I very rarely agree with his scorecards, if I'm honest. He has some mental scorecards, and he is a bit of a homer. Is Richie Woodall? I'm afraid to say, in my opinion, he's very biased with his judging.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, Rafa is giving it a go now.
Yeah, I think he knows, and his corner probably told him you're going to have to risk getting chinned there if you want to get anything from this fight, mate.
Oh. Turner's covering up there. I don't know if he's just...
Rafa, it was a beautiful left hook.
Yeah. Turner looks a bit ragged here.
Yeah, I told you at the end of that last round, he had a good little flurry there. Rafa's definitely on him here.
Rafa, he looks stronger now. Turner went low then. His nose is busted.
Well, they're both swinging now.
What a scrap! Look at this.
Yeah, this is heating up now.
Power.
There's some power shots coming in. Rafa's doing great here.
Oh my God, he's going to stop him.
Oh, he's all over him.
He's going to stop him.
What a turnaround this would be. Oh, his nose is gone.
He looks ready to fold.
Like his nose must be broke. That
We'd
Floyd at the end of
literally
the last
just
round,
said he could do this. We'd literally just said Rafa needs a stoppage.
Yeah,
and he
that
looks
Floyd
like
at the end of the last round, I told you that there was something coming here. He's gonna have to show some heart here now. Oh, he's hurt. He's badly hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to the body now, so he's got to keep him up. The refs, his body language is terrible here, Turner. His body language is awful.
Turner needs the bell, brother. What's your
his nose could be broke here as well.
How much time have you got left?
26.
Yeah, same. I just didn't want any of us spoiling it for him.
Wow. Oh, he hurt him to the body.
He's dropped him. Wow.
He's spent.
He's not getting up. I don't think he's getting up. Oh, he is.
He's completely spent. What a turnaround.
Wow, what a turnaround. What did I say? He needs 3 10-8s. There's one of them.
Incredible. The corner could pull him out here. He was spent.
I think they're gonna. He's done. Wow.
Yeah, he's spent.
Rafferty. You out. What a comeback. We've got to get him on the pod.
Yeah, I said that another corner would have pulled him out. That was a good decision. 100% a good decision. That was a cracking fight. Rafferty, what a turnaround. That was brilliant.
I mean, we literally just said if Turner can just go through the motions and pick up the win here.
Wow. Incredible, Dan. Incredible, mate. That was what a turnaround.
What a comeback.
Love them fights. I mean, just what you say. You know, you can box perfect for 8 or 9 rounds, and yeah, he was getting comprehensively beat, but there was no pop. I said earlier in the fight, didn't I? I said after a couple of rounds, the power looked to be of Rafferty, man. The pop wasn't there with Turner's shots. He was boxing nice. He looked flashy and stuff like that. But
I think I just said earlier in the round that the pop seemed to have gone out of his shots, and he looked like he was struggling to keep, not struggling, but you know, Rafferty was getting through, and then I don't know whether the nose break.
His nose went, definitely. He done well to get through the round, actually, Turner.
Yeah.
That was a cracking fight and good matchmaking from Queensbury there.
I mean, did Turner lose that fight, or were it just a twist of...
I think I'm telling you, and I know I'm touching on it loads, that flurry at the end of the round before, he gained something from that. He did, and he fancied it in the, I think, was it the 90s?
Well, you saw Turner go back to his corner, and he didn't look, you know, he looked like he got possibly buzzed or hurt even, you know. And his corner knew straight away. He could see.
Oh, it was the right decision. He was completely done, man.
Jack Rafferty.
Yeah, they were sending him out for slaughter if he went out in the round after that.
Didn't look dead at the weight there, did he, Troy? Where did he keep that?
I wouldn't have wanted to be in that sparring, Troy.
Is that a future matchup somewhere down the line?
No, you could sign me up for that.
Rafferty versus Williamson all day, twice on a Sunday.
Yeah, very, very impressive.
Great body shot. He gets hurt before he goes down.
Yeah, the wince on the body shot, man.
Never a good look, is it? That's never a good look, is it?
He was tough, man. He was brave, actually. I gotta give the lad credit. He was brave. He wanted to, and he gutted out the round, but
just
done.
talk about keeping calm, keeping composed, and having the nous to be able, and keeping something back to be able to do that after getting comprehensively beaten for, you know, well, he was losing that fight. Don't care what anyone says, you know, Rafa was losing that fight, and if it had continued in the same vein, I believe he'd have lost a wide unanimous, you know, after I've just said his cards are dog shit. But Richie Woodall had him 5 or 6 rounds in front. I had him 5 or 6 rounds behind. And you know, he's just stopped an unbeaten kid that were boxing better than him.
Man, that was a cracking fight. That really got me up for it, that did.
That's got me ready for Wrecking Ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, Ball Rios to come next. I'm sure Turner will be back from that.
Oh, listen, that were a decent performance up to it not being. You know, he were boxing really well. And as I've said before, mate, sometimes stuff like this, nights like this, can be the making of him.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because he now knows what not to do, or what he knows now what he needs to do to get through shit like that.
Someone just tweeted me saying that's how I see Tank versus Shakur looking, and that's actually a fair point. That isn't that it could very much look like that. And do you know what? While I think of it, that's how I see Bivol versus Beterbiev looking next week, and you can log that. This is live and direct. You can log that. Dimitri Bivol will be outboxing Artur Beterbiev, and he will stop him in the 9th or 10th round.
Has anyone ever seen those things what people wear on the feet? They're like made out of rubber, and it's got a strap that goes between your toe. What's it called? A flip flop. That's this.
No. I've said it. I've said it now. I've released a video. I've got videos on the channel. I've been for 2 weeks straight now.
Listen, I agree. You've said it. I don't agree with what you're saying. I will say I will be the total polar opposite. I think Bivol is going to do similar like that, right? But be able to eventually get Beterbiev out of there. I think Beterbiev's going to run out of steam chasing him. I don't think he'll wear him down. I don't think Bivol will let him. I don't think he's out. I think Bivol's harder than him. I think if they took the gloves off and went outside, Bivol would beat the shit out of him.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Bivol's a fascinating character, man.
And then he'd stand over him and he'd call him a looser.
Shout out Kate Bivol.
Shout out Mrs. X Bivol.
Former Mrs. Bivol.
She Shout out Dennis McCann. Like Dennis McCann. I don't know what you've done to a menace, but you've done something, brother.
Yeah, I'd be watching you back if I was you.
Turbo,
looks well, actually, Turbo.
We're only taking piss earlier on.
Yeah.
He's never at a gym. Well, as you can see, he's involved in training Mr. Rafferty. Excuse me. That was a great fight. Look at that belt. British title, man. Lord Lonsdale.
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Gorgeous. What a great fight that was. Yeah.
Nick Paul's always in fun fights. Just moving on. We're actually going to swap stream for the main event in the next couple of minutes. So if we've got 4 with us, if you could hop over and join us for the main event very shortly, that would be great. But just before we move, Nick Paul's so fun to watch, isn't he, man? His last few fights have been incredible, man. He's all action.
Yeah.
So they had it level on 2 cards.
Not for me. Not for me. I believe that Rafa were losing that fight. I think that's a better story anyway. He had to pull some out there. On my scorecard, right, he needed a stoppage or 3 10-8 rounds to win it. It was just, I'm not saying you were getting battered, but the cleaner work was coming from Turner. I had Turner to do that to him. I had Turner, I think I said 9th round stoppage. And I think I did, so I was right on the stoppage. Just the name was wrong. I thought he'd get to Rafa late, and I eat my words, and I you know, I'll eat my humble pie, and I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong. Let me tell you when I'm right. You'll hear about it from here till doomsday. What a way to win a British title. But as we've said before, look at some of the British title fights you've seen. Look at when Troy Williamson fought Cheeseman. What a fight that was.
That's one of my all-time. What a finish by Troy.
Mr. Cheeseman, you still owe me $1,000. I'll hunt you down for it. I'll never let it go. It's accruing interest. We bet that, I bet that Troy will knock him out, but, that's a different story. But great night, great fights. British title fights always are. Listen, the Lord Lonsdale British title means a lot to fighters, Oh,
it's the ultimate.
And to be honest, if for a fighter, I know we hammer him, but I'd take a green silver one as well, just to say I've got a WBC. Because you'd put it in a cabinet, wouldn't you? And some people want no different. They'd just see green WBC belt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing Prince Patel and taking a picture with him. Have you seen he's got about 30 belts?
Oh, yeah. He's got the WBZ and IB. What is it? The WBF and whatever it is.
He's the lineal sports centre champion. I'd box him. I'd smash him to pieces, a little pipsqueak. He can't make 160. He couldn't make 160 with an £150 weight in his pocket.
Jay's fight tour versus Prince Patel. It's the fight to make. if you ask me.
For me, he's too small. I'm a cruiser.
We'll flick over stream. Yeah. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.